Most companies focus on what they sell. IKEA focused on how people decide. That difference sounds subtle, almost insignificant, but it explains why IKEA didn't just become a furniture brand. It became part of everyday life for hundreds of millions of people. For many customers, IKEA feels familiar, predictable, comfortable, and familiarity is rarely accidental. At first glance, IKEA seems simple: affordable furniture, minimal design, flat boxes. But simplicity, in this case, is not the absence of strategy. It's the result of an unusually deep one. So the real question isn't why IKEA is cheap, it's why buying from IKEA feels so effortless. It's easy to describe IKEA as a furniture retailer. After all, that's what it sells. But furniture is only the visible outcome. What IKEA truly designs is behavior. From the moment someone enters the store, their movement, attention, and pace begin to change. They slow down. They observe more. They think less about leaving. They are no longer shopping in the usual sense. They are moving through a system. And when people move through systems instead of stores, their decisions start to feel natural rather than forced. If this kind of thinking interests you, BizNest focuses entirely on how businesses design decisions, not just products. Most retail stores are built like open fields. You decide where to go. You decide what to skip. You decide how long to stay. That freedom sounds ideal, but it creates cognitive effort. Every decision, even small ones, costs mental energy. IKEA removes that cost. Its stores are built like paths. One main direction. Very few shortcuts. Almost no visual noise competing for attention. This doesn't restrict customers. It relieves them. When people don't have to decide where to go next, they can focus entirely on what's in front of them. That relief keeps people engaged longer than they realize. One of the most talked about IKEA details is the absence of clocks and windows. This detail is often misunderstood. It's not about trapping customers. It's about removing pressure. When people are aware of time, they rush decisions. They compare less carefully. They leave sooner. IKEA reduces that urgency. Time fades into the background. Exploration replaces efficiency. Hook. Relaxed people don't rush decisions. They commit to them. This principle appears far beyond retail. And once you notice it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. IKEA doesn't display furniture the way most stores do. You don't see rows of sofas under bright lights. You see rooms, bedrooms that feel lived in, kitchens that feel practical, living rooms that feel achievable. Each setup answers a silent question: how would this feel in my life? At this point, customers aren't analyzing prices. They're imagining routines: morning coffee, shared dinners, quiet evenings. Imagination bypasses comparison. And imagination is far more persuasive than information. IKEA offers thousands of products, but customers never experience them all at once. Choices are broken into small, manageable sets. This prevents overload, one of the main reasons people delay or abandon purchases. Instead of asking, "What's the best option?" customers ask, "Which one works for me?" That subtle shift reduces anxiety. When decision-making feels manageable, people enjoy the process instead of resisting it. Self-assembly is often framed as inconvenience, but psychologically it changes the relationship between customer and product. When people invest effort, they assign value. Not because the product is objectively better, but because participation creates ownership. This is known as the IKEA effect. The shelf isn't just purchased, it's earned. Hook. Effort doesn't reduce satisfaction, it quietly increases it. If you're enjoying this breakdown, BizNest publishes long-form analyses like this every week. IKEA prices rarely shock customers. They don't feel luxurious. They don't feel suspiciously cheap. They feel reasonable. That consistency matters. Customers don't feel like they got a bargain. They feel like they made a smart decision. Feeling confident about a purchase is often more powerful than saving money. By the time customers reach the warehouse, they're already invested. They've spent time. They've spent attention. They've imagined outcomes. Small add-on purchases feel logical, not impulsive. Boxes, tools, accessories. Momentum does the work. When momentum exists, selling becomes unnecessary. Before social media, IKEA had the catalog. It wasn't advertising in the traditional sense. It taught people how to live with less space, how to organize efficiently, how to think functionally. Over time, that education shaped taste. When a lifestyle feels familiar, buying into it feels safe. IKEA doesn't promise perfection. Instructions are clear. Materials are honest. Limitations are visible. That transparency matters. When expectations are aligned, customers forgive flaws. Hook. Trust isn't built through persuasion, it's built through consistency. Today, IKEA's principles show up everywhere. Apps that guide behavior, platforms that reduce friction, services that reward effort. IKEA didn't invent these ideas, it demonstrated that they scale. Once you understand the system, you start recognizing it everywhere. IKEA didn't change furniture, it changed how people decide. By aligning systems with human behavior, selling became almost invisible. That's the lesson. And that's what BizNest exists to explore. Not trends, not hype, but the systems beneath lasting success. Create a 15-minute cinematic documentary video using the exact voiceover script provided above without shortening, summarizing, or paraphrasing. Maintain slow pacing. Allow pauses between sentences. Match visuals to narration rhythm. Use calm cinematic background music. Minimal text overlays. 1-3 words. Documentary-style visuals. Abstract stores, paths, rooms, diagrams. No logos, no exaggeration, no fast cuts. The final runtime must be no less than 14 minutes.